If you have been struggling to make money in the financial market with indicators and it hasn't been working out, then don't worry, you are not just a bad trader. The problem lies in the indicator you track trades with. So in today's video, I will be introducing this AI-based indicator that tracks market buy and sell signals, and the major key points on this indicator is that it has shown a substantial growth on the JPY market. I will be showing you the strategy used as well as backtesting it for quality assurance purposes, so make sure you stick to the end if you want to become a profitable Forex trader. But before that, I want to introduce you to our backtesting service, as it makes it very easy and saves you time when backtesting your strategy. Thousands of traders are using Trader Edge to get an edge on their competition. It also has a lot of features that would definitely take you one step ahead of your trading career, just like the position calculator that serves as a great tool for risk management. Are you not sure how to backtest? No worries, you will also get a full step-by-step backtesting plan which has a $100 value. Not sure how to build a profitable trading strategy? No worries, you will also get a full course on how to build a profitable mechanical trading strategy, which has a $270 value. And if you sign up right now, they'll even throw in for pre-made high-quality strategies that have a $100 value. That's for $170 worth of bonuses, all for free. But only if you sign up right now. Trader Edge has a 7-day free trial, so there's absolutely no risk. Click the link in the description below. Okay traders, before we enter into our strategy, I want to introduce this source indicator that made this strategy possible. Now bring up the Indicator Strategies panel, and I want you to search for the Machine Learning Lorentzian classification. This one right here by Jordi with an editor's pick. So add it to the chart. Now this indicator is not what we would be using for this strategy, but it will be serving as the source for our main buy and sell indicator that will be applied to the chart. As the indicator looks very good and okay when giving out trades, as you can see this buy trade right here, it was profitable. Now look at this short position right here, later became profitable. This buy trade was a losing trade, and this sell signal also a good profitable trade. Now this Lorentzian classification is a machine learning classification algorithm capable of categorizing historical data from a multi-dimensional feature space. This indicator demonstrates how Lorentzian classification can also be used to predict the direction of future price movements when used as the distance metric for a novel implementation of an approximate nearest neighbors. So we can see that this indicator is an AI-based indicator that generates good signals for long and short signals. So since we won't be using this for our strategy, let's get rid of it and add the Lorentzian classification indicator we will be using for our buy and sell trades. So when you bring up the indicator panel, I want you to search for the Lorentzian classification strategy. Now this one is a strategy on its own, as it is made by Strategies for Everyone. So it is the Lorentzian type of indicator that we will be using for our chart. Now you can see that this indicator gives buy and sell signals, as it is an already made strategy on Tradingview that calculates automatically its buy and sell signal. So we will be getting rid of most of the settings script in order to focus on what we really need. As you can see, it plots a good level of buy and sell, and it can as well stop itself from losing trades. It takes profit and exit trades at the same time. We got this buy and plotted this signal. Although this position was a losing trade, I think it exited it at this point. So now let's adjust the settings for this indicator to better understand how we take trades with it. So when you bring up the indicator settings panel, I want you to uncheck this first option under the input. Then scroll down, change the feature count to 2. And then at the far end of this input settings, I want you to find the appearance section and uncheck the show EMA, uncheck the show stop loss, uncheck the draw position on chart, uncheck this. For the show signal on chart, we will have to leave it checked, then uncheck the show stats from add/withdraw money frequently. Now move over to the style, scroll down to the bottom section and uncheck the labels, the tables, the trades on chart, and the quantity. So these are what we will be getting rid of. Click on the OK button when you are done, And we have our buy and sell signals alone on the chart, as this is what we need for this trade. But as we can see here, we have a lot of losing trades from this indicator. If we had entered this sell trade right here, we would have been stopped out if our stop loss level was at this recent swing high. And for this buy, okay, this buy was successful. Then see another buy signal, and that would have been stopped out if we used this recent swing low as our level of stop loss, although it also has some good profitable signals. As you can see this buy signal right here, if we entered this buy, it would have been a long winning trade. But since we are not going to be using this indicator on its own with the settings, we will be adding one more indicator to the chart to better enable us to hunt for points of good entries and exits in the market. Now please, do not forget we are under the Euro-Japanese yen, and this is the 5-minute time frame. And like I said earlier, this strategy works best on Japanese pairs. So be sure to try it out on other Forex currency pairs attached to the Japanese yen. Now bring up the indicator settings panel. And for the second indicator we will be adding to the chart is the swing high-low support and resistance. This one right here by Pattern Smart. Add it to the chart. Now let's adjust the settings for this indicator, as it gives us recent levels of swing high and swing low for a certain period of time in the market. So when we are done with the adjustment for the settings of this indicator, we will dive right into our strategy application. So you would be familiar with how we take trades, as well as exit them in the market. So when you bring up the indicator settings panel, on the input, I want you to change the swing high strength to 50. I also want you to change the swing low strength to 50 as well. Click on the OK button when you are done. Now let's go over to our strategy application method to better understand how we enter our buy and sell position using this strategy. So stay glued to the end. Okay traders, so how do we take buy and sell positions using this strategy? Now first, for the newbies in the house, our resistance and support levels are levels where prices are expected to bounce off. But most often, we experience price breakouts which occur less frequently in the ranging market. So, what we will be doing here is this: we will be taking a breakout trade, thereby waiting for when trade breaks our recent resistance. Then we tend to look out for a buy signal above the recent resistance. Now notice that the recent resistance will still be highlighted in a dashed color, so this was a previous resistance, and this is a recent resistance. This is a recent support, while this is a previous support. So to enter a valid buy trade, first, we would now wait for price action to break above the recent resistance line. Okay guys, we see our breakout has occurred above the recent resistance, but most times we do notice fake breakouts. So to be sure of what we are doing in the market, we don't just take breakout trades immediately it occurs. Now we would be waiting for our buy signal from the Lorentzian classification strategy before we would enter any trade at this point, because most often, we notice that price also gives a fake breakout and then moves down towards the support level. So let's wait for our next Lorentzian buy signal before we enter trades at this point. Okay guys, so we now got our buy signal at this point. So what we have to do is we place our buy trade at the close of the trigger candlestick. Now for the stop loss, we won't be using this recent resistance level as our level of stop loss. Why we won't use this as the level of stop loss is because when price breaks out a recent resistance line, price tends to move up and then retest that level before it continues its upward movement. Now, how do we determine our level of stop loss? First, we have to make use of our ATR. So when you bring up the indicator strategies panel, search for the ATR stop loss finder. This one right here by Verifit. Add it to the chart. Now we would be using the default settings for this ATR stop loss finder, as we would be using 1.5 times the ATR value. And this indicator will automatically calculate the stop loss for both buy and sell trades using the 1.5 value of the ATR. So for this buy signal here, our level of stop loss will be at this point. Then to take profit, we would use 1.8 times what we have to risk in this market. So this trade right here serves as our valid entry. Let's see how the trade performs. As we can see, this trade was successful. Now notice that when price broke above the recent resistance level, price retested those levels before its upward continuation move. That's why I do not suggest using this recent resistance as a level of stop loss. Now here is another reason why we will be making use of the ATR stop loss as our level of stop loss. We can notice that we got this buy signal at this point. And why this buy signal is valid is that we can notice that this level is still our recent resistance level, as the level is still highlighted. And we got the breakout above at this point. So we can notice that we did not get any trade, not until we got this buy signal right here. Now this is an invalid signal, as we do not take trades when we have this type of signal. We only take trades when we have the green labeled buy signal right here. And for this, we have to open trade here. Using this recent resistance as the level of stop loss, we can see we are risking a lot in the market. So to make back 8 times what we are risking on this market will be very hard. So that's why it is a valid reason to make use of the ATR stop loss. Now for this trade, we can see it is a valid entry. This level is still valid and no new resistance above, while this resistance stands as new support. So what we do is to open trade at the close of this trigger candlestick. Our stop loss will be at the lows of this ATR. While for the profit levels, we use the value of 1.8 times what was risked in the market. Now let's see how this goes. And we can see that it turned out to be successful. Now, this is also important. When we take a new trade after the breakout, we won't have to take any other buy or sell signal, not until we get a new breakout from our support or resistance level. Now, getting a breakout tends to take time. That's why you have to use as many JPY pairs as possible. You can trade up to 5 Forex pairs with the Japanese yen and make more quick profit in the market. Now exactly the opposite is true for a short trade. For a sell signal to be valid, we would be making use of the breakout that occurs on the support level. So we can see that throughout the first breakout, we had no sell signal, and this still stands as a recent support level. As I mentioned earlier, we do not enter trades on the CL sell signal, but then, we had our sell red label at this point, which is the valid sell after the breakout at the recent support level. So as this is our valid sell entry, we have to enter trade at the close of the trigger candlestick. Stop loss for this trade, like I said earlier, will be on our ATR upper level. And for taking profit, we will use 1.8 times what we risked in the market. And we see it was successful. Like I said earlier, never use the support level as an area for stop loss. As we can see, price retested the level at this point, and again, price retested the level at this point. So the price will keep retesting this support level. That is why making use of the ATR stop loss finder kinda gives an edge at proper risk management. So let's go over our backtesting to see how the strategy performed. Okay traders, so we just finished with the backtesting for this strategy, and we can see the results are amazing. We had a win rate of 60% for a 1:1.8 times what was risked in the market, having made 136% of our initial capital. So try this out on all JPY pairs and thank me later. And that's it for today's strategy traders. Thanks for watching, and see you until the next one.